We are right outside our studios. I'm with horticulturist Heather O'Bryan, and you actually help us out here in downtown Roanoke.
Yep.
You planted last year and this year, right?
Yes, I did, and I learned a lot of things while I did that.
That's what we were finding out, is that it was kind of a learning curve for you. So tell us a little bit about that.
So when I planted last year, I didn't take into account the hot bricks. So I planted a lot of things. I had a color scheme, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get all this stuff. And then it got so hot up here that it killed half of what I put up here. And then the other half really thrived and took over. So I had to really put in some thought this year on what to do.
Absolutely. So I feel like this is a problem that a lot of people could face at their house.
Yeah.
So what are some tips that you have for people who, I mean, might have bricks or have direct sunlight pretty much constantly?
Rock walls, that sort of thing. You want to plant plants that can take all day heat.
Okay.
Not just sun, but heat.
Okay.
And a lot of those are going to be desert plants or plants that live in Florida or anything like that. So one of my favorites is planting lantana, which I planted last year, and it did really well in this bed.
Is that okay? I was like, can you show us that?
Little colorful thing
here.
And it's deer resistant as well. So if you want to plant annuals at home and you have deer, go with lantana. And then there's a bunch of different ones. I also planted dichondra, which is going to be our spiller this year. It's very drought tolerant.
What does a spiller mean?
So when you're planting, you want to follow the thriller, filler, spiller method.
Okay.
So the thriller is something high up like this Angelonia here.
Okay.
A filler is going to fill out kind of at the ground level or mounding, and then your spiller is going to be something that comes over the edge.
Oh,
yes.
I did not know this. I love that. So where do we start, and how do we kind of help them to stay alive?
Well, water, of course, is an important thing.
Water your plants.
Water your plants. Number one thing. That's what took me from being a brown thumb to a green thumb, figuring out the water.
Got it.
So these guys are in heat. Just because they can take the hot heat does not mean that they don't want to drink water. You know, they might be in the desert, but they're not a camel. So make sure to water your plants in the morning. Due to photosynthesis, the science, usually plants are taking up water in the morning, and they don't really take up water in the evening.
Got it.
So if
breakfast is the most important meal of the day, even for plants.
Exactly. So make sure to water in the morning and check it in the evening once the temperatures get into the 90s to see if it needs a supplemental watering.
Okay. Now, is there something on like packages or when you're looking for your plants that will tell you like, hey, I can take direct sunlight?
Well, yeah, they'll always have a full sun on there.
Okay.
The heat tolerance is another thing, and there are some tags that are starting to say that they're drought tolerant or heat tolerant.
Yeah.
But if you have a situation like this, it warrants some research. Now, you know, I write the blog for the Roanoke Times, so I've blogged about this several times, so you can go on the Fanatical Botanical on Roanoke Times and find some of my blogs that I've written about this before. Okay.
And then what's the ideal sun exposure for someone's home garden?
Ideal sun exposure? Yeah. I prefer a mix of sun and shade.
Okay, mix it up a little bit.
Yes.
If it's possible.
Right. Okay. You can't help what you have in your landscape, so make sure to tailor those plants towards what you have in the sun. So what I do is I map the sun in my yard. So I'll go at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, noon, and I'll write down if it's sun or shade. Okay. And then I'll know if I need to look for more full sun plants or part sun plants.
Give us that website one more time where people can check it out.
Oh, roanoke.com/fanaticalbotanical, or you can go on my website, thatgardengirl.com.
Cool.